getting all this good stuff, offline, and then we're not getting anything going on. Jeez, what are we doing? What kind of professional podcasters are we?
We're getting all the good stuff out of the way.
All right, all this good stuff out of the way. Well. All right, well, hey, let's get this started.
Anybody
What's up, Dad Hat crew, and welcome to another episode of the Dad Hat Chronicles podcast. Thank you for joining me. This week, part one of my episode is going to be with my two good friends, Mike Sellers of the Up to Chat podcast and Eric Proffitt of the Earn Fun Average podcast. This week, guys, we had a blast, okay? We talked about their experiences with their baseball team, what they were expecting at the beginning of the year, how it went for their team, right? A collective, like, for them as a fan of those specific team, and then obviously of the league. We honestly get into a bunch of other stuff that is not baseball related. Mainly making fun of Mike for liking tennis, and come to find out, he also wants to plan some of his trips based on another sport that is not baseball, guys. I'm telling you, I couldn't do it. It was just too much. It was just too much. But without further ado, guys, here's the episode. And welcome, guys, to yet another episode of the Dad Hat Chronicles. My name is obviously Ed, and with me I have two of my really good friends, fellow podcasters. Oh God, I guess I'll start from the bottom here, and then it'll just get better after that. So I'm going to start with Mike Sellers.
You fooled me there.
I knew you.
I was like totally on board with agreeing with
Yeah, here we go. No, I know. Mike Sellers of the Up to Chat podcast, and then obviously, again, it's very average, but it's really good. Eric Proffitt of the Earn Fun Average podcast. What's going on, gentlemen?
How's it going? Appreciate you having me on.
It's not the first time though either. So there you go.
We gotta be in a select group here. I mean, not too many people have been, on multiple times, right?
No, not a lot of people. Like, well, I want to get, I've been trying to get a lot of my friends back on, just so I can have between now and the new year, right? Like, what you guys' thought on the season, baseball season that it was, right? Obviously, we already know Texas Rangers, World Series champs, all that fun stuff, right? Like, I mean, we know that, but obviously all the three of us, we root for the American League Central. Mike, you being a Detroit Tigers fan, Eric, you being a Kansas City Royals fan. Obviously, you guys already know I'm a Guardians fan. So, we have different fandom. We root for the Central, but which was the worst division in all of baseball this year. That's sad. That's super sad. Like, I think Minnesota just won by default. That's what it was. Somebody had to win it. So I'm like, let's give it to Minnesota this year.
I mean, how many times did we see throughout the year where all those comments about if the AL East standings and the AL Central standings were just put together, it would still be the same order.
I got so tired of listening to that, dude.
I know, right? It was funny the first time, but
yeah, for one time, two times, okay, cool. Third time, so I'm like, all right, guys, can we get some new jokes? Right. It's like that, as a Browns fan, like getting the multiple quarterbacks every game that you see the Cleveland Browns with a different quarterback. Oh, here we go, add to the other list. We get it, guys, we get it. At this point, we got it. Well, let's just, thank you for, mentioning it 677,000 times during the 1 hour, show. So thank you, appreciate that.
Yeah.
But let's get back to baseball, guys. Let's get back to baseball. So my first question to you, the both of you, and I want to know what you guys think is, all right, so at the beginning of the season, your thoughts of how you thought your team was going to do. Like, what was your expectations as far as, all right, so we're, February, right? Pitchers and catchers are showing up. Everybody is 0-0. Everybody has equal chance to make it to the playoffs. And then everything falls off. But like, what was your guys', for your own team? What do you guys think of your team was going to do this year?
Who's going first?
You started talking, so why don't you keep going?
All right. Well, so last year, I know you said this year, but I'm getting to that point. Last year.
Here we go. Mike with extended explanations.
The 2022 Tigers, I had high hopes for. And it was just a complete disaster. The guys that were supposed to be good weren't good. And then by the end of the year, a lot of the pitchers, Scooble, Mize, all these guys were hurt for not just in the moment, but we're going to be out for most, if not all, of this year.
Right.
So basically, I had high hopes for that point, but it was such a disaster that by the time this year came, it was never about this year. Honestly, it was like there was no hope of any sort of championship run or even postseason really. So by the time the season ended, I was kind of pleased because Scooble ended up coming back, and by the last month or so that he did play, he's one of the best pitchers in baseball. Manning came back. Most importantly, Torkelson started finally looking like the guy he was supposed to be. Kerry Carpenter coming out, starting to look pretty good too. So obviously, just from a win-loss standpoint, it was nothing to write home to mom about. But I knew that going into the year, so all in all, it was honestly better than I expected.
You knew right off the bat that your team was going to suck. You guys were going to be the bottom dwellers of, you guys were going to go for the toilet ball this year. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, we were eliminated by April 1st, so
first game out.
Right.
They should have put how Fox Sports does the little diagram on Instagram where it's they get eliminated is you and the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Right. I get it. This year it was about the few things I already mentioned, and about sending Miggy off in a good note. And I loved the little farewell tour they gave him, and most importantly, I was really hoping that he wasn't going to get a season-ending injury in June or something. I'm just glad that he stayed healthy the whole year.
Because he barely played. Let's be honest. He was a DH, all year.
And they gave him a lot of days off and stuff like that. But it would have just been so much worse if he had gotten an injury in May or June and just couldn't go out on his own terms. So all in all, it was a successful year from those points of view. But obviously, still would have rathered a postseason run.
I like it. Okay. So we already know that your expectations, at least you were realistic about your team, right? You were realistic. Yeah. Unlike me, I thought that Cleveland was going to be from the lineup that they had and everything that they brought back. I was like, all right, Cleveland's going to win the division again. Right.
Yeah.
Wrong. So they were bad. But Eric, as far as your Royals, tell me expectations from the beginning of the year.
Well, it was kind of funny because Mike had mentioned, so I did write home to my mom about the Detroit Tigers, but it just got lost in the mail. So funny that you mentioned that. But so I thought that the Royals were going to be better than last year. Now, I didn't think they were going to come close to making the playoffs or anything, but they have a lot of young talent that had just come up through the minors. You have, Bobby Witt Jr. at shortstop, Vinny Pasquantino, MJ Melendez, all those guys. Zach Greinke was coming back. Now, obviously, he's at the end of his career, and I don't know if he's going to be done. I think that he ended up retiring, or I don't know if he's decided yet or not. But
he's doing yoga first, and then he'll let you know.
They have the veteran pitching and everything, and thought they might be, or at least part of the pitching rotation. So I thought they'd be at least a little bit better, but they were awful for the most part. Now, they did get a little bit better towards the end of the year. They picked up Cole Reagans there towards the end of the season. And if he wasn't one of the best, he may have been the best pitcher in the league for the last couple months. But they started doing something a little bit towards the end of the season. But obviously, by then, they had already lost over 100 games. So pretty disappointing. What I thought, like I said, I didn't think they would make the playoffs, but thought at least had a chance to be a little bit better, expand on last year, which was, pretty bad, but it's been, good 6-7 years since they've really done anything. So who knows, maybe we'll see obviously what next year brings, but definitely disappointing for sure. 100 loss season for the Royals.
Yeah, it was in that Chapman trade. Is that when they got him?
Yeah, I believe so. I can't remember if that was when it was, but yeah, Reagan was really, really good for the Royals there at the end of the year. So they got some pieces, but yeah, the pitching for the most part, Brady Singer was like the only good pitcher last year. He didn't really pan out to do much this year. So they need to figure something out with the pitching. And then Vinny Pasquantino got hurt and was out for a good part of the year. He was probably the best hitter for the Royals to start with, besides Bobby Witt Jr. And then he got hurt and was out for the season. So hopefully he'll be back and be playing, how he was last year before he got hurt. So
I love Pasquantino. Didn't he play for Team Italy?
He did, yeah. Him and Nicky Lopez both played. Yeah, he played for the Northwest Arkansas Naturals last year or the year before, and so we got to see him here in Wichita. And then he actually then went up to, obviously, to Omaha at AAA, and we went. That's the first time I've been up to a game in Omaha, and I got to see Pasquantino, and my son got his autograph and everything. But yeah, he did play for
Nice.
Team Italy, and I remember watching them because we've talked about this quite a bit. But that World Baseball Classic was one of the best tournaments that we've seen for quite a long time.
Such a fun tournament, right? Like, I mean, it's like, oh, they got injured, players shouldn't do it. I'm like, listen, that was the most fun I've had. And when it came to baseball, even for the regular season, right? Like, as far as like, obviously my team, Team Puerto Rico, but like, watching the other games is like, even the championship game, that was a fun series. The whole thing was just good.
Yeah, for sure.
And none of the players that played, even the ones that got hurt, seemed to regret going there and playing it.
None. No one regrets it. No one regrets it. And now we got to wait, what? Only 3 years we have to wait now for the next one?
Yeah, 2026, I believe.
It's going to be so good.
Oh, yeah.
They haven't released where they're going to be doing it again, the venues, but man, I'm going to try to go, guys. Let's have a podcast summit somewhere in one of these games and just go.
Let's do it.
Yeah, I was in Miami the week this year for work that they started the games down in Miami, but unfortunately I had to fly back like maybe 2 or 3 days before it started on like that Saturday. So unfortunately I didn't get to see it. But yeah, that'd be so awesome because I've never been to a game because I think you said you've been to see Puerto Rico play in that atmosphere. I just want to see that type of atmosphere. I guess if I remember right, so we have the National Baseball Congress World Series, and they had maybe like a Puerto Rican junior team or some team that came, and not a big fan base, but there were some, and they were pretty ruckus. But I can only imagine what a big MLB ballpark filled with those fans, what that atmosphere would be like. I just want to see that atmosphere.
Yeah, dude, when you see like the Latin countries, especially like, and obviously I'm going to be a little bit of bias on this one, right? But like when you see Puerto Rican and Dominican Republic play, whoa, bro, forget it. That is like, that's like next level stuff. And another series, the Caribbean series, that's a good one right there. That's when stuff gets good. It's like, everybody representing, obviously, you already know, we Puerto Ricans, we put our flags on anything. So I'm not even kidding. I'm tatted up with Puerto Rican logos everywhere. So that's how it goes. We will represent until we die. So, okay. So obviously, we talked about our expectations for the beginning of the year for our teams. As you guys already know, my team, we were done. Like, I mean, same thing. It's like, injuries with Cleveland really got the team hurt. That's what it was. Like, it was a lot of injuries. Justin Bieber was out. Like, the whole pitching staff, it was just done for the year. They were done. Like, it's like, oh, he'll be back, maybe a couple of weeks. Nope. End of the year. And then we started trading away players. They sent Bell to Miami, and then he started playing better. I don't understand. And it was like, what are we doing here?
That's what I say. If you guys didn't become sellers at the trade deadline when you were 1 game from the division lead, you might have been able to finish it off.
That's what I got so angry. You don't understand. I was so angry when they started in trading players away with a game lead. I was it was so mad. What's going on, Eric? Tell me, you give me that phase. Give me the phase, Eric.
Sorry, watching Sunday Night Football. Josh Dobbs ran around to the right side and got grabbed and almost got thrown down for a sack, but instead stayed upright and then tossed one into the end zone for a touchdown. It was kind of a pretty unbelievable play.
Okay.
I know Kyler Murray is back, but I almost think that it was a mistake for them to get rid of him and send Dobbs.
100%.
Well, I know that Kirk Cousins being out, that they needed to get a quarterback, but I thought Dobbs played pretty well for the Cardinals. But yeah, he's been doing pretty well so far for the Vikings.
Imagine if the Jets were willing to spend a 6th-round pick to acquire Dobbs instead. Imagine where they could be.
Dude, they benched him. They benched Zach Wilson today in the game.
Finally.
I was like,
I mean, honestly, it's not going to get any better with Tim Boyle.
No, it's no. It's not going to get any better. No. But yeah, it's all bad. It's all bad in New York. And then what's his name? Aaron Rodgers is like, oh, I'll be back by December. Sit down.
Right.
Sit down.
For the last 2 games or whatever.
Like, bro, you know what? You're 40 years old. I know how it feels to be 40. I'm 42. Okay. You get up the wrong way and there you throw your back out. So relax there, sunshine. Okay. and you want to come back and play against, 20 and 30-year-olds hitting you left and right. Come on now, slow down.
Yeah.
Okay, but we're talking football here, guys. Let's talk about some baseball here. Okay, so right. So let me ask you this, obviously, because you guys are also like myself, big fans of minor league baseball. For you guys, give me your highlights overall, whether it's major league or minor league baseball for you guys throughout the year when it comes to baseball. Some of your highlights.
So for me, obviously, I always enjoy getting to travel. Went to a couple parts of the country I haven't been before.
Mm-hmm.
Went with my wife and the boys up to the Northeast, and we actually did a mix of MLB and minor league. So we got to go see like the Red Sox, the Yankees, the Philadelphia Phillies, and the Pittsburgh Pirates. So four really iconic stadiums up in that area. Then got to see some minor league like the Jersey Shore Blue Claws, the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs, the Hartford Yard Goats, the Portland Sea Dogs, and some of them. So that was a lot of fun getting to travel up that way. And then my brother and I went up to Seattle, got to see T-Mobile Park, see the Mariners, and then got to see like the Everett Aqua Sox, the Tri-City Dust Devils, the Portland Pickles, the Dubsey Fish Sticks, Hillsboro Hops, and some of them. So for me, it was getting to travel again this year was a lot of fun. The highlight for me this year.
What was your favorite ballpark? Let's start. Okay, give me your favorite minor league ballpark and your favorite major league ballpark, because I wouldn't be fair to just combine them.
So although it's not big and flashy because it is only single A or maybe they're high A, the Jersey Shore Blue Claws, that stadium, they just took great care of us. The staff, the entire staff that we encountered was so nice. From the guy that made us a pork roll to the main ticket guy to anybody that we encountered, they were just so nice. And then they have a mini golf out in right field, and then they have a kind of a midway, boardwalk midway. I don't know if anybody heard our friend Paul's episode where they talked about having fair style games out in the outfield, and just a fun little atmosphere, for kids and adults alike. So that was probably my favorite minor league. I don't know, I would say that I enjoyed Fenway, but actually my entire family got sick a couple days before we got to Fenway, so I didn't feel like I got to enjoy the experience at Fenway that I would have liked to. We did like Citizens Bank Ballpark in Philadelphia. That was we did get to go to PNC in Pittsburgh, so yeah, that's by far, now that I thought about it, we did go to PNC, and the view we had, I purposely got seats behind the home plate, upper level, so we can just get that perfect view. And
dude, that ballpark,
went out to the outfield and got pretty close to the bridge and everything. So yeah, PNC for sure.
That ballpark is absolutely gorgeous. It's absolutely still one of my favorite ballparks because it's so beautiful. They got the Clemente statue right there when you come in. They close one of the bridges, during game days, and then you can just walk. That's such a cool experience. Yeah, absolutely. That's one of my favorites. I do still want to go to Jersey Shore. I want to go up to all those ballparks. I still want to make it to Fenway just because, yes, it may be a crappy view, but like they said, it's iconic, right? So it's history there. So you have to go. You have to go and watch it.
Yep.
What about you, Mike? Highlights.
For me also is the traveling. I did two different big trips this year. The first one was going down to Greenville Drive game, and that one was really nice. I always like when teams do stuff to emulate their parent clubs. They had that green monster in the left field there, which was fun. And then from there, the next day went to a Pensacola Blue Wahoos game, and that was one of the best ballparks I've seen, period, of all the minor league ones. And the food was great. The city was great. Anyone that hasn't been there definitely needs to go there. And the next day after that, we went to an Auburn game. So got to see a SEC college game, and then made it turn into a doubleheader. Went to Montgomery, saw a Biscuits game, which ended up being my 100th ballpark overall. So the general manager, Nick Murphy, took me onto the field afterwards and just kind of announced to the crowd briefly that was my 100th ballpark. So that was a lot of fun. And Montgomery, same thing. You got to see a lot. We didn't have much time, but we kind of zoomed around the town, seeing some historical stuff there. And And then the other trip we did was we drove out to Des Moines, saw an Iowa Cubs game, met up with Jordan Schachterly there, showed us gave us a tour of the ballpark before the game. Then the next day we headed up to Milwaukee Brewers game, but before we went there, we stopped at the Field of Dreams, and I always wanted to see that, and I expected it to be fun, but it was still way cooler than I imagined it to be. And of course, had to make sure and rewatch the movie when I got back and liked it.
Good man.
I liked it before I went to that movie site. Yeah,
you have to.
Oh yeah, and then on the way home the next day, we stopped at a Joliet Slammers game, which was really nice especially for an independent league team. But yeah, I would say those two trips combined. If you want like more of a specific moment, I kind of seeing the 100th ballpark was just a milestone I've been counting down to for a while. So maybe that moment.
That's pretty cool. I'll eventually get there, well, busy, life and everything, trying to get to the ballpark. whatever, dude.
You only do
cooler within me at traveling. All right, cool, whatever. Show offs.
You can only do one at a time, right? So
dude, I can't. That's this year, hopefully I'm hoping to do more North Carolina ballparks. I'm trying to go to before, I think it might be done, but no, to down east.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, because was the next year their last year?
Yeah, they're going down to Spartanburg, where I still haven't got my hat yet.
Maybe they got there.
Spartanburg.
Have it wait for you in the new ballpark, maybe.
Probably not. Different ownership, and I think the Spartanburg, like from what I understand, I don't know much. It's like they just disappeared. They don't know where they went, and
the whole situation seemed weird.
Dude, like they just shut down. You just took everybody's money. Granted, it was a hat. Don't get me wrong, but like I'm still a little hurt, because it was a cool hat.
At least give you your money back if you're not.
Right, give me the money back, bro. I spent that money.
Right. Yeah, I'd do that if I was you.
Jerks. It's not like I don't have hats.
Right. Right. But you need that one.
I needed that one for the collection. Although if you see behind me, I don't have any hats behind me anymore.
I noticed that. Yeah. I was like, are you in the right studio or?
I am. You are in the right studio. Okay. I compromised with my wife, about putting hats on the wall and everything. And we compromised, and then all the hats are in storage. So, happy wife is a happy life.
Right.
So, I actually think it's like, there's like two small walls behind the doors here in my office. So I might just put my Cleveland ones up. I might just do that. I got to put that. I have to.
But you can fill up two walls with just Cleveland hats, but.
Yeah, 100%. Oh yeah, that's bad. Again, this is not a show to get Ed in trouble, Mike. God,
hey,
Jesus!
You can edit all you want to edit before you post.
But okay, I can edit it, and no one will ever know except for the two of you. And then when I get in trouble, I'm going to be like, "What happened? It was Mike."
People like to blame me for stuff anyway.
Here's, exactly, like the fact that tennis is absolutely a garbage sport, and you still love it. I don't understand.
I mean. The season ended today. The important stuff.
Listen, I just want you to know that on my last, the Dad Hat Chronicles sports show, mm-hmm. that Patrick went out of his way to talk about tennis for all of 20 seconds.
And I missed that part.
You missed that part. Absolutely, you did. Listen, by the way, if you didn't know, it's on Tuesdays and Thursdays, 9 p.m. Eastern time. Just so you know, okay. They talked about it 20 seconds. 20 seconds. And don't hold on, Eric. You're getting your stuff. I've invited you a couple of times, and then sometimes he's always busy. Did you hear that, Mike? He's always busy doing something.
It's almost like he's got a wife and kids or something. I mean, I don't know what it's like.
That, and then he just doesn't like me as much as he says he does.
Aren't we talking baseball tonight?
We're just getting everybody in trouble.
Oh yeah, right. Everybody's gonna get in trouble.
Hey, Ed, we're talking about our highlights and getting to travel this season. So you got to do a little bit of traveling. It feels like it's been over 20 years ago, but we got a chance to meet up at a baseball game way back in May.
Wow, that was such a highlight.
It was so fun. I just thought about that. That was probably, getting to travel was a lot of fun, but going to that game with some of you guys was
dude, that was the highlight of my summer. I'm not gonna lie. Like the fact that we got to, like, I flew all the way to Colorado, right? And like that whole day Well, I spent it by myself, but I went and took a tour of the Rockies ballpark, which is a beautiful ballpark, by the way. You got to go into the visitor bowl, dressing room, and you were in there. I got to take some pictures. You got onto the field. I got to touch the grass, which was awesome. I was this close to going to the purple row. I was on my way up, and then the tour guy was like, "Hey, what do you think you're doing? What do you think you're doing? Get back down here." I was like, "But I just want to."
She just ran up and touched one of the.
I should have.
Just gone.
I should have. I was like, "Well, we don't have insurance." I'm like, "Insurance. Who needs that?"
Right.
Don't be a loser. But then did the little museum that's right there down the street from there. That was pretty cool. That's why I took some of the pictures from. Like, they had the Detroit Tigers stadium seat. Yeah, that was cool.
Mm-hmm.
Met up with Paul and Amy, and then we drove to the Storm Chasers. That was cool.
What drive was that?
That was a cool experience, right? Because Jim was there, and then that's why I met the director of 50 Summers. That was cool. We got to talk. We met. He's a cool dude, cool people. So I had him on the podcast. So we talked about that whole experience. Got the tour. And then throughout the whole game there, I'm texting Eric. I'm like, Eric, you gotta tell Paul he has to go to Kansas City. He has to go. And then he was there. And then I had Donnie also talk to him. I was like, no, dude, we gotta go. And then the rest is history.
Yeah, because I was already had plans to meet up with Ed at a Kansas City Royals game.
Yep.
And I took Joe and we went to the Savannah Bananas. We're in Kansas City, Kansas at Legends Field the day before. So we went to that and then stayed there. And then, so I already knew Ed was going to be there, but then he's like, yeah, I'm trying to convince Paul to come. And I'm like, yes, Paul, you're coming. But yeah, that drive, you kind of forgot that there was a time zone difference. Is that right?
Good. It was the night we were leaving. Well, obviously it's the time zone that doesn't exist, right? The mountain zone. So he lives there and he forgot, leaving Colorado. I was like, we made it
suspicious,
right? I mean, suspicious is all good, but we were all, it was so close that we got there, but we got to do the tour of the Storm Chase and everything. I mean, we were hauling. We killed a bird on the way down there. Like, the bird literally just flew in front of the car. I was like, that thing just like, boom, it just went over the car. I was like, well, that's the bird's fault. But it was a lot of fun. That Kansas, I'll say this. I know that Kansas City's trying to get a new ballpark. Dude, that was a nice ballpark. That's a nice one.
That's my favorite one. That one's awesome.
You need to calm down. Your list is, we don't believe you in your list. After your whole list debacle with the jerseys, we're not doing this with you.
Hey, I'm not talking jerseys. We just established that I was at the 100 ballparks. That should be worth something.
But then it was like super hot out that game. It was just May, but it was like super hot, but that's okay.
And I'm wearing jeans.
Right.
I'm like, sweet Lord, it is. And then we are right behind right in front of the fountains. Yeah. And you would think you would get a mist. That water, as soon as it left, it evaporated. There was nothing coming. It was that hot.
How seriously did you consider jumping in then?
Oh, every single minute. I consider, it's like, I don't know, if I wasn't going to get kicked out, I would have jumped in.
So I have a question. This experience you guys are mentioning here sounds super awesome, but my question is, how much more awesome would it have been if I had also been there?
100 times worse.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. Like, it would have just killed the whole mood. Oh, great, Mike's here.
You know how to fly or drive. You know how to get to Kansas City,
right? I did. I was probably busy that day. I don't remember what I was doing. I just wasn't invited or something. I think I probably wasn't invited.
You were. Yes, you were. We're on a text message thread, dude.
I'm pretty sure it's a public ballpark. I can't keep you out.
I mean, I don't know all of your guys' plans.
Are you the owner? Are you the owner of the Kansas City Royals, Eric?
Apparently. I wish I had John Sherman's money.
Right. But hey, listen, you can make it up, Mike. You can make it up, and you're Eric. Next, in July, next year, end of July, it's going to be the corporate media meet up again.
I know.
Didn't you guys meet up at like a 100-year-old ballpark or something this year?
World War Memorial Stadium,
dude. The enigma.
Yeah, and I didn't come to that.
That was the word we used.
That was the enigma. It was freezing. It was raining. And this thing was such a, It was the coolest, ugliest, most rundown ballpark there ever has been.
The dirtiest, nastiest, ugliest, most beautiful ballpark you've ever seen.
It was unreal. Like, I mean, we're just sitting there, and it was like we were sitting on concrete because there's no longer any seats. Like, I mean, all the seats are gone. There's like the bathrooms are still from 1920. No
Ooh.
joke. 1920. I'm not
And
even
they look
kidding.
like it. And they look
Right.
like it.
No concessions, nothing. It was that bad. I mean, we were supposed to go to a college game. That's what it was. Like, we were supposed to go to the oh God, what was it?
We were gonna go to the UNC Greensboro game.
UNC Greensboro, yeah.
It was supposed to be at like noon or something. And before the game even started, you got a rain delay, and they announced right off the bat it wasn't going to start till at least 4. So 5 minutes down the road is NCA&T, and like, well, let's at least go over there, see the ballpark. Assumed it was going to rain out too, and it was delayed, but they started at like 2:30 or something, 5 minutes down the road. So we got in there, got to actually see some of that.
Right, and the crazy thing is like the UNC Greensboro, I think, isn't that a turf?
I think so. I know it's a lot nicer stadium, that's for sure.
Nicer stadium, dude. And then that ballpark, you were like, man, this thing is like, there was patched up like different colors. I think they're spray painted part of the outfield with spray paint, green spray paint, so it didn't match. It was so bad, but it was such a cool experience. Like, a whole section of the ballpark was closed, literally, with yellow tape.
Yeah, and there was like bleacher seats with like the bleachers themselves removed, but like the posts holding them up still there.
Still there.
So,
oh my God, it was cool though. It was a cool experience though.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I liked it a lot. I'm glad that and we both got foul balls from there.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we did.
We both got foul balls. Like, I think one of them was like under the bus. It's just like, it was the van. It was the van that was transmitting the game. They were calling the game from inside the van. We could hear them talking, and I'm like, Mike, there's a ball right there.
Yeah, there ended up being 2. So yeah, so we each got one. It was good. Got a good souvenir. I didn't have any of the CAA conference balls in my collection until then, so I needed one.
That was a cool experience, though. That was a cool experience. So, but hey, like I said, the Curvin Media meetup in July,
I thought you guys were going to do that in May. Is it July now?
No, is it May? End of May. I think, no, end of May. You're right. It's end of May.
I was going to say, he just changed it. Breaking news. Sorry.
Yeah, changing it
to July.
May 25th, May 25th, 2024. Yeah. Durham Bulls, and then the 26th is the Mudcats. So, just saying.
You know what I'm going to try to do? We had talked about what them leaving to go to Spartanburg. I want to go see Salt Lake Bees, since they're supposed to be changing their stadium after next year. I want to see that before because everybody says the Bees have a really nice stadium with a nice view and everything. So that's what I want to hope to get to next year.
For sure.
A nice one.
That one looks nice.
I've always wanted to go to Utah. I don't know why. There's always something about wanting to go there.
Yeah, probably all the scenic mountains,
right? The scenery, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, is it Zion that is up there in Utah? So, and it'll be cool to go see. So there you go. So again, guys, there's a shot right there. Okay, just letting you know.
I appreciate
putting it out there. It's November, technically middle of November. So you guys have plenty of time to plan this out.
That's true. I keep that in mind.
He's not coming, Eric. When he says it's like, I'll keep that in mind, that's it. It's over. He ain't coming.
If you recall, you guys picked a different date earlier, and I was like, I'm all in.
Well, but it was Mother's Day, dude. I couldn't,
But now it's Memorial Day weekend.
Okay. What are you going to do Memorial Day?
Still a holiday.
That's what I'm saying. It's a holiday.
Yeah. Some of us have plans on holidays.
No, you don't have any plans until 2024. Get out of here.
Hey, you crack with me for liking tennis, but I probably shouldn't give you this information. But in my family,
I will so make fun of you if you start talking about tennis for Memorial Day. I swear to God.
No, it's not tennis. Not this time. Indy 500. Big deal in my family. Every Memorial Day.
Get out.
All of a sudden, tennis ain't looking so bad, is it?
No, tennis is looking a whole lot better.
So you're starting to get pieces of the puzzle here. It's all starting to make sense, right?
How are we friends? It's what I want to know. What is this? You're talking
I mean,
about Indy 500 and tennis over baseball? What is this, Mike?
Indy 500 is 1 day a year. The rest of it, other than the few tennis days, I give the rest of it goes to baseball. You will probably laugh at me when we're talking about the World Baseball Classic.
Here we go.
When it was in Miami, that one of the biggest tennis tournaments of the year is also in Miami, and it was within a couple days of the same time the WBC was going to be there, and I was hoping it was going to be a little closer so I could have double dipped on a road trip down there, but they didn't make it work good enough.
Mike, I want to ask you this question, and please be honest.
Okay.
Do you even play tennis?
I do.
Get out of here. No, you don't.
But not like all the time. I'm not like about to make it to the ATP.
I want to see this. I want to see this.
I played that. I started a couple years ago, and I play it a little bit. I've been in pickleball more lately though.
No, I do it.
Have you ever seen a 9'7" giant on a tennis court? If not, go check out wherever Mike plays.
Boom, 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 just all over the place.
I'll send you the address to my home tennis court.
Hey, listen, pickleball. Have you guys put your design in yet?
Oh no.
For the official league?
When's the deadline for that?
It's going on right now, bro. You got until the 27th. Yeah. Listen, for all of, 2 listeners that I have here, okay? Make sure you guys are putting your design for the official league, 40th anniversary of pickleball hat design. Get your hat design, get some money, and then get some store credit for the official league store. I'm just saying it's there. So officialleague.com. So go there.
Don't let Eric Lichtenberg enter a design because no one else will have a chance then.
Once he enters, that's it. It's over with.
Mike, I enjoy pickleball. I'd meet up with you sometime, go watch a baseball game and then play some pickleball. It's fun.
I've never played pickleball. I've never played pickleball. No.
Really?
I played in a tournament last year with my first grade teacher who's getting ready to retire after this year, and we end up winning the novice bracket. So I have a trophy and a medal from that. So
really?
Darla from her job brought they gave her a free set of pickleball, like the paddles and a ball.
Yeah.
So I'm ready to go.
Dude,
I have it.
Fun. I love
it. Yeah. It can be a good workout too. If you're playing doubles, it's not much of a workout, but singles.
Okay. All right. Listen, I'm in. I want to do this.
We have chicken and pickle here, and they're getting ready to build a pickle.
The way you eat chicken while playing pickleball?
You don't have to eat it while you're playing, but yes, there's like
but you can.
Chicken strips, chicken sandwiches, everything. And then they have indoor and outdoor pickleball courts. So it's a big complex out east in Wichita. And then they're doing another big complex as well. They're trying to make Wichita the pickleball capital of the world.
I'm okay with this. This is cool. That more. Hey, they even have Wichita has an arena football league now, a team. So there you go. You got that going for you. Wichita coming up.
That's right.
Doesn't Kansas have like 12 teams in the arena football league or something?
I think so. I think they do.
Well, how come neither of you guys have been to Wichita yet?
Whoa, slow down. We met in Kansas City, bro.
That's true, but that's 3 hours north of here. Mike skipped over. He told me
Mike just skipped the whole
this
state.
Past year, but the year before he said Wichita's on my list, and then it up, and I don't think the schedule worked out, so he didn't come. And then Ed
didn't work out.
Ed promised me that he would make it this year, and
I did
not to call out Anna either, but she said she would make it, but she was too busy in Alaska and down in Rickwood.
I feel bad. I feel bad that I didn't make it, but at least I made it.
And then I bought a house, so I couldn't come to Wichita. So.
I'm recording from the new house, bro. Calm down.
All right. Well, next year maybe.
See, at least I didn't say I was definitely going to go there.
Mike was definitely not going. Mike, right from the get-go, just told you straight up the whole state is a black hole for me. It doesn't exist.
Hey, this goes 2 ways. Now, you guys ever come to Cincinnati?
I'm from Ohio. Listen, I left Ohio.
I don't blame
you. I'm not going back.
I don't blame you. If I've gone to North Carolina, I visit Ed. He's within more easily driving distance,
True. I'm
gonna go try to see the rubber ducks next year. So I don't know how far you are from there.
Canal Park is nice.
It's about 3 hours for me, but if you go all the way to there, and then you don't pick a day where there's tennis or Indy cars or something,
he'll go. Stop it.
Yeah,
I'm gonna 500 is going.
Yeah,
I can't go.
I'm gonna make my schedule when I'm gonna look up the tennis schedule and the Indy 500, make sure that they're not. So Mike will show.
It has to line up exactly so Mike can go.
You know what? There's a tennis tournament in Cleveland. If you pick it that
Shut your
week,
face.
I can double dip.
Shut your face. I can't with you with this. Seriously though, you will enjoy Canal Park. That's a nice ballpark. I love that ballpark.
Don't you have a seat from there, Ed?
I do. It's right here. I'm looking at it right now.
Nice.
I love it. I'm trying to get me another one, but I'm not allowed to buy anything else, any more sports memorabilia. I got yelled at already, so
just put it on your Christmas list.
I should, but the Christmas list is and this is the most old man thing I can ask for. Like it's the Krager flat top, grill. Mike, you're like shaking your head, don't even know. Eric already knew right off the bat as exactly what I was talking about.
What is it? Do you have to be married to understand this or something?
No, you just gotta like barbecue, bro. I thought you would enjoy that.
I like eating it.
Exactly. But you were like a lawnmower. That's the extent. I told my wife that I wanted a Volkswagen Beetle, and she right off the bat said no because it's too expensive. So
I like it though.
What are you gonna do?
I thought it was a cool. I'm not going to get a Volkswagen Beetle, but if I ever had one, I want a red one, and then I'm gonna put a white stripe on the top and 2 Georgia logos on the doors, make it look like a football helmet.
So Eric, how are you, buddy? How you doing?
Good.
I can't with Mike. I can't. Georgia Bulldogs. Like, why would you ruin a car, perfectly good looking car, with just
and make it better looking?
Make it absolute trash. Like the depreciation would just be like, we're trying to give this car away and no one wants it. Why? Because there's Georgia crap all over it.
I'll start putting the college football trophy stickers on the back for every
here we go again.
Then it'll be just covered.
Oh God. Just wait until you lose to Alabama in the SEC championship.
I'm a little worried about that game.
You should be. I would be.
Yeah. I saw someone tweeting recently. They're like, how the heck did Alabama ever lose a game when they had Nick Saban and Kirby Smart there at the same time?
Oh.
But they didn't lose much. So.
True story.
Yeah.
So this episode just went completely off the rails. I just want you guys to know.
I was wondering how many of your listeners are still tuning into this episode.
Probably not. Probably not. I just want you guys to know this is exactly the kind of bantering that goes on in our text message thread. Literally, this is exactly how this goes. Right. I was making pretty much of Mike for telling the fact that he likes tennis, and then he would pick tennis over any other sport like this. It's embarrassing. To be honest with you, Mike, it's embarrassing.
I mean, I can verify that this is indeed how the text thread goes. Yes. It's like we'll do some of these back and forth jabs, and whenever I jab one of you two, it's like nobody does anything. But as soon as one of you guys jab me, the other one's going laughing.
It piles on.
True story.
I cannot wait. As soon as Eric starts, I'm like, here we go.
Right. Right.
Put the gloves on.
You like that popcorn meme where you're just sitting back eating the popcorn?
Yeah, I just throw a couple jabs here and there just so I can see it going back and forth, just because it's just fun.
Right. Yeah.
Especially how Trevor Lawrence is the MVP of the NFL right now.
Yes, I mean exactly. Exactly.
Didn't someone in this episode bench him this week, and then now how many points did he get? I want to know on someone's bench.
In the one league I had, he ended up with 35 points. Yeah, he had 2 rushing touchdowns and 1 or 2 passing touchdowns. But then when I start him, their kicker has more points than he does in fantasy football. So it's like, I can't win.
He hasn't been. Yeah. It's just this.
Then just stop starting them, because we don't want the bad games. We want the good ones.
I'm definitely starting him the rest of the.
There you go. There it is.
I'll lose my fantasy if it means that the Jaguars are going to lose their games.
But we appreciate that.
Eric is like, I'd rather lose than to see Jacksonville win anything right now.
If I'm going down, I'm taking everybody with me.
I'm burning this sucker down. Hey, by the way, Minnesota's winning against Denver.
What's the score?
10-6.
10-6.
Right before half.
Yep. 2 minutes and a half.
Good thing that game is now instead of like a month ago. I mean, it's still not exactly a great game, but it would have been a real dud a month or so ago.
Yeah, Mike stole my line from what I texted this morning, exact word for word what I was saying earlier.
I think I changed it up a little bit.
Nah, he plagiarized that.
Straight up plagiarizing. Went actually, as a matter of fact, what he did, he went all the way up, copied it, and pasted it, and sent it over to you guys.
I just had to make it a little smarter on this for the line.
Okay. So about those famous, not so famous questions.
Right.
Are we there yet?
Someone is trying to get off this episode real quick. I hope you guys enjoy that episode. As you guys already know, this is only part 1, right? So part 2 will be next week. So stay tuned for that one. You guys are going to want to stay tuned because this was a lot of fun. Obviously, we continue our bantering, and we also continue of Eric and I's making fun of Mike, because obviously we wouldn't be friends if we wouldn't be doing that. Honestly, having those two was a lot of fun, and the amount of laughs that I got out of this episode was really good, and it's something that sometimes you just need, right? You just need to laugh with some friends, and this was that kind of episode, and so make sure you guys stay tuned for that. Make sure you guys are following them, okay? Follow Eric Proffitt, Mike Sellers, the Earn for an Average podcast, as well as the Up to Chat podcast. I put all the information on the show notes so you guys can go in there and take a look. Give it 5 stars. Hit the subscribe button, all right, on all of them, as well as the Dad Hat Chronicles podcast, okay? So before I go, though, I want to give you guys a dad joke of the episode, and here it is. And then I'm trying to get the corniest joke that I can find, and I think I found it. Let me know what you guys think. What did one eye say to the other eye? Between you and me, something smells. All right, guys. Until then, keep on grinding and always support the minor leagues. See ya. What are we doing? What kind of professional podcasters are we?